Imagine this. It's October 1962. You wake up, grab a cup of coffee, flip on the radio, and instead of hearing the latest Beatles hit, you hear this. This is not a drill. Repeat. This is not a drill. That's right. The Cold War just turned hot. Nuclear war isn't just a terrifying possibility anymore. It's happening. But what would that actually look like? Would humanity even survive? And how close did we really get to World War III? Today, we're diving into an alternate history scenario. What if the Cold War had turned hot? Let's break it down. Okay, before we jump into the boom part of this scenario, let's talk about reality. Because here's the wild part. World War III almost happened multiple times. And I'm not just talking about some paranoid military guys playing war games in a bunker. Let's hit some of the closest calls. Picture this. The United States spots Soviet nuclear missiles in Cuba, just 90 miles from Florida. Panic mode activated. President Kennedy and Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev go toe-to-toe. The world is literally one itchy trigger finger away from global annihilation. And guess what? A Soviet submarine officer, Vasily Arkhipov, was the only reason we didn't launch nukes that day. He stopped his captain from firing a nuclear torpedo after US ships started dropping depth charges. One guy saved the world. No pressure, right? But let's say Vasily wasn't there that day. Let's say things went sideways. What happens next? If the Cold War had turned hot, it wouldn't have been a slow burn. Nope. It would have been an instant, earth-shattering catastrophe. Here's how it likely plays out. The United States and the Soviet Union had something called mutually assured destruction, or MAD. Great name, right? Basically, it meant that if one side fired nukes, the other would definitely fire back and nobody wins. So, if Cuba became ground zero, we'd see massive US airstrikes on Cuba, Soviet retaliation on US bases in Turkey and Europe, and ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, flying within 30 minutes. New York, Washington, D.C., and Los Angeles, gone. Moscow, Leningrad, and Beijing, also gone. Within 1 hour, millions are wiped out. And that's just the first round. But that's only the nuclear war. The real horror? What comes after? Surviving the nukes? That's just level 1 of the nightmare. Because what happens next is even worse. Nuclear winter. The smoke from thousands of firestorms blocks out the sun, sending global temperatures plummeting. Think of it like Game of Thrones. Winter is coming. Except nobody's coming to save us. Famine. No sun means no crops. No crops mean no food. No food? Well, you get the idea. Radiation sickness. If you weren't vaporized, you'd be dealing with fallout. Radioactive dust covering everything. Your skin, burnt. Your DNA, scrambled. So, yeah, not exactly a fun time. But hold on, what about survival? Could some people make it through? Short answer. Maybe, but only if you were in the right place at the right time. Some isolated areas, like parts of South America or rural Australia, might dodge the worst of it. And those crazy doomsday preppers with underground bunkers, they might have had the last laugh, but civilization as we know it, it's gone. Governments collapse, cities turn to wastelands, and humanity enters a new dark age. A real-life Fallout game, just without the cool power armor. Here's the scary part. This almost happened more than once, and while the Cold War ended, nuclear weapons didn't disappear. The world still has over 12,000 nuclear warheads. The question is, could history repeat itself? Let's hope not. Because if the Cold War ever turns hot, why is she fan you? Why, we just saw how that plays out. What do you think? If the Cold War had gone hot, would humanity have stood a chance? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you love breaking down alternate history scenarios like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss what we've got coming next. This has been OmniThinx, where we think beyond reality. See you in the next one.